Sora. You're lucky. Looks like my summer vacation is over.
This moment right here has stayed with me for years now as one of the most saddest and most gut-punching moments I've ever had in video games. And yes, I know, this is that confusing heart game with Goofy and Donald in it. How can it be that sad? Well, firstly, let's not act like Disney or Final Fantasy hasn't ever brought us to tears, okay?
You just got me there.
Buckle in as I break down this moment and why I feel like it is one of the most devastating prologues in gaming. Before that though, I've still been getting a lot of attention and love on my Final Fantasy X video I made a few months back, and I just want to voice my appreciation for that. Final Fantasy X is my all-time favourite game, so I am beyond happy when I get to talk about it with you all. Because of that also, stay tuned until the end for a small announcement for the channel. So, before we can understand why this moment hits like it does, we have to go back to the very beginning, back to the first Kingdom Hearts, and back to my first time experiencing these games. I'll try and keep the summary nice and quick. We have a kid called Sora who is the Chosen One. Being the Chosen One, it is up to him to travel from Disney World to Disney World with Donald Duck and Goofy to vanquish darkness, all the while searching for his lost friends. Sora beats Ansem, the big bad at the end, and seals the door to darkness, but decides to stay behind to continue looking for Riku, his best friend slash rival slash possessed anti-hero who had to seal himself in the realm of darkness to help close the door. This takes us into Chain of Memories, a Game Boy Advance game and a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1 because Nomura hates basic naming conventions. But the biggest things we need to know from this title is our intro to Organization 13, nobodies that have taken on sentience, Naminé being one of them, technically, and the ending in which Naminé puts Sora into a deep slumber. So, after all of that, we can finally start up Kingdom Hearts 2. And after another killer intro that I wish I could play in full for all of you, we get this surprise.
Another dream about him.
Yes, we have another Raiden on our hands. And look, I hear stories of that really upsetting the fan base when Kojima pulled that sneaky move back in the day, and I never truly understood it until I played this game, because kid me, getting to play this for the first time, was furious. Not only am I not playing as Sora, but this whole segment in Twilight Town was just so boring to me. And I know that may seem weird to say considering I am making a video trying to convince you all how deeply sad this section is, but part of its effect on me and the beauty of this segment is playing it now that I'm older, because this segment is all about one thing and one thing only: the summer vacation. Or, as I in the UK knew it, the 6 weeks holiday. A wondrous magical time in every kid's life where you would get 6 whole weeks away from school to bask in the summer weather, play with friends, in my case spend a couple of weeks with my nana, and just have fun. And revisiting this section now as an adult makes me so nostalgic for those times, and really lets me resonate with these kids, as they are all experiencing the very final week of their break and are soon back in school and are so desperately trying to make the most of each day, and you the player get to take part in it too. And that feeling of being a kid with kid logic and kid plans is so deeply ingrained in this prologue. So much so that the whole Kingdom Heartness of the story isn't that focused on until closer towards the end. So let's take this day by day. Day 1. Our rivals have been spreading word that we are no good thieves, so we set out to try and find the real culprits and clear our names. It's such a simple thing to start with. We all know that feeling as a child when you get blamed for being naughty, and you know you never did anything. It's that special kind of injustice and powerlessness you feel when you think no adult believes you. And it's extra upsetting to Roxas and the gang, as this is such a small town that all the adults should know better than to think you'd steal from them. Yet none of them do. They even say things like, well, you used to be one of my best customers. Now, the strange thing about this incident is the fact that not only is the mystery item stolen, but the word itself is also stolen. No one can say it. We eventually follow a few basic nobodies through the woods, get our hands on a keyblade, defeat them, and reclaim photos. All photos, weirdly, of Roxas. There will be a decent mixture of just out of nowhere weirdness here and wholesome kid activities on their summer break. And while at first it may seem confusing, it's the culmination of all of this that works so well. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Day 2. Before we get into today's agenda, I just want to quickly point out another key kid moment that I do love. So, each night, Roxas has been having dreams about Sora and the events that happened during Kingdom Hearts 1. So learns the name of the weapon he managed to wield against a nobody on the previous day. And in learning this, he just picks up a big stick and starts swinging it. And again, I get such a big feeling of relatability here. It feels like such a universal kid thing. This also takes me into this next scene.
Do you guys think we'll always be together like this?
I sure hope so.
Huh? Where did that come from?
Well, you know, just thinking out loud.
Well, I doubt we could be together forever. But isn't that what growing up's all about? What's important isn't how often we see each other, but how often we think about each other. Right?
Get that off a fortune cookie?
That's it. No more ice cream for you.
This conversation is so great to me. We all had friends from school that you think you would be friends with forever. But then life happens. You get older, you move, you drift apart, you get into relationships, have children, have marriages. I love this because whilst it may seem thrown in as a worry one of the friends has, this growing up, this feeling of losing your best friend may be something that Roxas has to come to terms with sooner than you may think. So, today's agenda. The kids are frustrated, yesterday was a complete write-off, and they really need a win right now. So they all decide to go to the beach. Trouble is, kids being kids, they are all flat broke. So today's task is to do some odd errands around the town for enough cash to afford a train ride to the beach. Again, another great, simple, childlike plan and activity. Now, I don't know if this is getting a little bit too meta, and if I'm just simply overthinking this, but I do like how the tasks are very everyday and boring. We're asked to deliver some letters, get a big old sack up a hill, become a jester and entertain the masses, and they all pay practically nothing, forcing you to have to replay the same task over and over and over again until you scrape together enough money for your friends. But in steps today's weirdness. In this case, it is a man in a black outfit robbing us, a man who no one else seems to be able to see either. I liked the little moment after all this went down, where we're all just hanging out at our usual spot on top of a clock tower, as you do, and you can definitely feel like Roxas feels the worst about the situation. But his friends, being good friends, don't grill him, they don't blame him or fall out with him, they simply just hang out and tell him to cheer up. Day 3. We find a note for us at the hangout saying we're all going to hit the beach today. The kids managed to get the money needed, probably from a parent. However, the weirdness begins right away where time freezes and Namine appears, saying that she wanted to meet us. We follow her into the woods, but are soon ambushed by nobodies, to which we flee and get Cypher's gang involved to try and fight them off. We reclaim the Keyblade once again to fight back, which leads to this amazing fight with the Nobody's version of Darkseid, and as much as I would love to sit here and just praise, the key part to this day happens after this fight. And I'm not talking about the vaguisms that happen with the Namine conversation, but what happens next. We wake up from the fight to Cypher and the gang gloating. We get caught by the rest of our friends with him, leading to this scene.
So, you hung out with Cypher's gang today?
No, it's not like that. Oh yeah. How was the beach? Wasn't that today?
We didn't go. It wouldn't be the same without you, right?
Sorry. Hey, How about we go tomorrow? We could get those pretzels and...
I promised I'd be somewhere.
Oh.
And I just love this so much because it is such a kid-like miscommunication and falling out. You immediately understand the gang's disappointment and hurt, especially Hayner, Roxas' best friend. Day 4 is the day of the tournament, a battle royale the entire town puts on for some reason that allows kids and adults to fight. I mean, look at this grown-ass man. Why are you fighting kids? Worse, why are you asking me to throw the match for you? Loser. Anyway, today's focus is more on the weirdness rather than the kids, so let me just cover the kid part first. As you can imagine, the tension between Hayner and Roxas is still there from yesterday. That is until they are matched up.
Hey, sorry about yesterday.
What? You still worried about that? You need to learn to let that stuff go.
I get a lot on my mind.
Sorry, man. Wait, what am I sorry for?
And just like that, the boys are best friends again. Again, it all feels so relatable. So it doesn't take long before the weirdness strikes again, as time freezes and we meet Axel.
Roxas! All right. Fight, fight, fight. You really don't remember. It's me. You know, Axel.
Axel?
Talk about blank with a capital B. Man, oh man. Even the Dusks aren't gonna crack this one.
Wait a sec. Tell me what's going on.
This town is his creation, right? Which means we don't have time for a Q&A. You're coming with me, conscious or not. Then you'll hear the story.
So I know I've been focusing more and more on the kids part and have been speedrunning a lot of the weirdness that is going on, but as I said at the beginning, it's the clash of these two worlds that lead to the heartbreak. So let's just start piecing together some clues before the final reveals start to take place. We have multiple parties that are all interested in us for unknown reasons. We have Diz and his hooded friend who have been messing with us the most and seem to have the most control over the situation. They seem to be able to control the nobodies, they are actively making sure we do not leave town, they have Namine and are using her in some way, but nothing is spelled out completely as of yet. Then we have the other parties. Namine, who yes is with Diz, but is seemingly acting on her own also. It also seems that she has a lot more power over the situation than Diz realises. She very nearly spilled everything to Roxas before she was stopped. And now we have Axel, who is convinced we know each other and that we have simply just lost our memories. Not that it stops him from acting hostile and fighting us though. Day 5 is my favourite day. It starts with the kids' realisation that the summer vacation is ending in only a few days, and that they still need to do their homework. It is an assignment of their choosing, so first Roxas suggests that they should investigate the strange things that are happening with him and the town, and then that expands into what Pence calls the 7 wonders of Twilight Town. 7 urban legends that the whole town talks about that can be found throughout. And I just love this. It's such a childlike fantasy. I remember kids making stories about haunted houses near where I lived back when I was a kid, and we would all talk about investigating them. Now unfortunately for Roxas and the gang, when they do investigate, they find that each legend is a bust. For example, the first legend, the mysterious extra step. Legend has it, when you count the steps in the train station, you count more going down than you do going up. Well, as it turns out, the lad who first counted and spread the rumour is just an idiot who didn't count correctly. And all the legends we investigate follow this line of thinking. Roxas investigates, something weird happens to him, then Pence arrives just in time to explain it away. And I could be overreaching here, but I see this as the first sign of reality intercutting childlike innocence. But I'll get back to that point very soon. With each of the legends being a complete waste of time, the group starts to split, frustrated and with a dud of a paper on their hand. Roxas asks about the last one and learns that he is at the mansion, so he sets off alone to investigate. This mansion is supposed to have a ghost girl that haunts it, to which Roxas sees is Namine. This is where we start to get some answers.
You know these three, don't you?
Yeah. Sora, Donald, and Goofy. They're from the dreams.
About a year ago, some things happened, and I had to take apart the memories chained together in Sora's heart. But now, I'm putting them all back exactly the way they were. It's taken me a long time, but pretty soon, Sora will be his old self again. The process has been affecting you too, Roxas.
You mean the dreams?
Yes. You and Sora are connected. And in order for Sora to become completely whole again, he needs you.
Me? What for?
You hold half of what he is. He needs you, Roxas.
So we obviously don't have everything crystal clear just yet, but it is clear that everything weird that is happening to us is down to our ties to Sora whilst these memories are being repaired. Day 6. Now, spoilers, but this is going to be our final day, in more ways than one. And right away, we already get the feeling that something is different about today. For a start, we didn't just dream about Sora's memories last night. Instead, it looks like one of Roxas's memories was also in there. One where he was fighting a bunch of Heartless, and then also Riku. The weirdness doesn't stop there, as heading to the hangout, we find that we seem to be a ghost ourselves. Our friends just simply pass right through us. And a creepy part that I do love about this day is the lack of music. Listen. Outside, Roxas runs into Axel again, where he pretends to remember him. Unfortunately, the only information that he does remember is what Axel has already told him, so one more question from him and he is on to us, leading to a fight. Inside the mansion, in the room we last met Namine, is where Roxas starts to get his own memories back.
Your mind's made up?
Why did the Keyblade choose me? I have to know.
You can't turn on the organization!
Organization 13. They're a bad group.
Bad or good? I don't know. They're a group of incomplete people who wish to be whole. To that end, they're desperately searching for something.
What?
Kingdom Hearts. Funny?
It's just... I think I've been running away from the question I really want to ask. What's gonna happen to me now? Just tell me that. Nothing else really matters anymore.
You are...
Nominate!
There's no knowledge that has the power to change your fate.
Even if it doesn't, I want to know. I have the right to know.
A nobody doesn't have a right to know. Nor does it even have the right to be.
But what is a nobody?
Diz, we're out of time. Too many nobodies.
Roxas. Nobodies like us are only half a person. You won't disappear. You'll be whole.
I'll disappear?
Okay, I know the word nobody is now being thrown around way too much that the word has just simply lost all meaning, but I promised we are getting there. More pieces are being put into place, with the biggest one happening just a little further into the mansion. So, Roxas, a member of Organization 13, a bunch of nobodies that gain sentience, could also wield the Keyblade. Obsessed with finding out why it chose him, he left to find answers, leading to the likes of Axel being tasked with bringing him back. He ran into Riku, lost that fight, and then found himself in the hands of Diz, who placed him inside the simulation of Twilight Town with different memories, whilst Naminé is also piecing together Sora's memories. All the pieces are there, ready for the finale, but before I get there, we have one last confrontation with Axel. This time though, Roxas actually does remember him. Now, if this was a full deep dive, I would love to talk about how great this fight is. God, I just love the reaction commands in this game, but alas, we have trauma to get to. So, after we say goodbye to our best friend, we walk through a corridor showing a sleeping Donald and Goofy, and then silently make our way into the next chamber, where I'll just play out the full scene.
At last, the Keyblade's chosen one.
Who are you talking to? Me? Or Sora?
To half of Sora, of course. You reside in darkness. What I need is someone who can move about the realm of light and destroy Organization 13.
Why? Who are you?
I am a servant of the world. And if I'm a servant, then you should consider yourself a tool at best.
Was that supposed to be a joke? 'Cause I'm not laughing! Ugh.
My apologies. This is only a data-based projection. Come, over here.
I hate you so much.
You should share some of that hatred with Sora. He's far too nice for his own good.
No! My heart belongs to me! Sora. You're lucky. Looks like my summer vacation is over.
God, I just love this moment so much now. Like I said, I have so much more appreciation for a moment like this now that I'm older. I appreciate how it takes its time, showing kids just be kids, slowly building up to this awful reality where this Frankenstein-like monster, who by all rights should not have existed, being led to his own demise. And to have the goal to have this demise be the way that we revive and take back control over our main protagonist, it's just tragic. I appreciate the lack of music as well. It's silent. Eerie, dead silence. Sure, we have the battle music kick in whenever nobody spawned, but from the very beginning of this day, up until we see Sora, it has been very, very silent. Even when we do see Sora, it isn't happy music that plays, or victory music, or anything like that. The music is bleak, it's sad, it's somber, it's heartbreaking. I believe that I also have appreciation for this prologue now as an adult, because the whole thing to me feels like a showing of what it feels like to actually grow up. The making the hard decisions, the losing friends, facing the harsh reality of the world. It is all something we have to do as we get older. And Roxas has a lot of childlike moments here, ruined by this very harsh reality that adults in his life have set out for him. And we see him react to them as a child would. For instance, when he closes his eyes and calls out his friend's name to wake himself up. But we also see him tackle this very maturely. There's moments where he is warned that the more he knows, the more it will hurt. And his reactions are always very adult.
Even if it doesn't, I want to know. I have the right to know.
All up until this point, he is forced to make a very adult decision and give up his life to complete Sora. That is assuming, of course, that he had any free will at all. You could also argue that Diz had all the cards in the situation and just beat Roxas, getting what he wanted. That final moment when he first sees Sora could very well be interpreted as Roxas accepting defeat, which would fit with what he says. But I see it a little bit more like accepting of his destiny. He knows he can't beat this. He knows what needs to be done, so simply just accepts his demise in his final moments. However you look at it, this moment is just beautiful and heartbreaking, and I just love this prologue nowadays. I mean, I adore the entire game. It is a perfect game alongside Final Fantasy X, Stardew Valley and Silent Hill, but I digress. Thank you all for watching. As I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a small announcement with this video. I've still seen a lot of love pour in for my Final Fantasy X deep dive, in which I want to thank each and every one of you for checking that out, liking and commenting. I could not love that game more, and I'm so happy with the response that it's had from all of you. With that being said, I want to tackle more games like it. I want to deep dive the Grandias, the Chrono Triggers, the Parasite Eves, the big meaty classic RPGs, which means yes, it means more Final Fantasy also. Now, this does worry me, as it almost certainly means that my videos are going to be longer and take longer. But you guys seriously do love my Final Fantasy X videos, and I do love my classic RPGs, so let's just give it a go. For this year at least, I want to tackle only RPGs, starting with the eagerly awaited sequel to my all-time favourite game, Final Fantasy X-2. Now, every so often, I will still drop a first impressions video, don't worry, I would not miss Resident Evil for the world. But other than them, be prepared for a lot of RPG deep dives on this channel, and if that sounds up your alley, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. Thank you again for watching and for making it this far. If you want to talk more Kingdom Hearts 2, or even if you want to drop a few RPG suggestions my way, do so below in the comments. And until next time, take care.